welcome to Heal With Us, where we aim to inspire, strengthen, and empower.
Now let's begin to heal.
Hey y'all, I'm Toya, and I'll be investigating the business of everyday people like you and I. This is Dr. Nikkisha. She'll be checking in on your heart. And that's Tam. She'll be enlightening you with fun facts you didn't even know you needed. She's just nerdy like that. Now that you met us, let's get in your business.
In your business.
All right, so on today's episode, I wanted to talk about getting organized or decluttering. I don't really have questions prepared. Mine is more of a self-help situation right now. So I think for me, the getting organized part, a lot of people don't talk about is like being a good wife, mother, keeping your household running. You know, I didn't have a manual, so it did not come easy to me. I still struggle. So I think my question would be, you ladies been married a little bit longer than me. How do you manage being a wife? She hard blinked at me twice.
I'll go. Well, to kind of provide you reassurance, nobody had a manual.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell you they do, they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just first and foremost. How do I manage it? With grace. Because you got to give yourself grace, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall short. You're not going to meet the needs of the kids, the husband, the house, yourself. You're just not going to. So you're going to have to give and operate in grace, and know that you are one person, and know that you are doing the best that you can. So that would be my answer.
I mean, that's a loaded question, because that's why I looked at you that way, because there's so many parts and pieces to being married and maintaining a household. And I think there are a lot of things that should be shared amongst married couples and, you know, women, and, you know, because there's a lot of things you don't know. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's going to have different challenges, but there's some basic things that, you know, might be obvious to some, but are not so obvious to the next person.
Yeah.
So I think what I have learned is communication is definitely the best remedy for any place in your marriage, any place in your, you know, in your life where you're trying to just seek balance. Start with communicating and getting on the same page. And then that management piece becomes a little easier. And the challenging part with that, though, is you're not going to always see eye to eye. And just being prepared for that, because your needs are different than his needs. And, you know, what you might want or what might fuel your soul doesn't fuel his soul. It actually drains his soul, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think it's just so many pieces to that. But I think Tamara answered it very well. Give yourself grace and just be open and real about what you need, what, you know, what your expectations are, as well as what his is, and then find your middle ground. You know.
Okay, I like it. I think too, when you are in like a blended family, and you know you got one husband, but the one husband is coming into maybe 4 or 5 other people, then it's like, okay, this for me is normal. But you're coming into this and thinking like, y'all do what now?
Right.
So I think, you know, what advice do you have for something like that?
So I'll answer first. So I think the main thing, first and foremost, is to remember you're a team. And regardless to, you know, whose kids or what, y'all are now a family. So the goal is to be on the same page. And if you don't agree with something, talking about it together first, and then with the children. But that is a good point, because, you know, a lot of how you raise your children is based on how you were raised. And it's just like we kind of talked about how we had a stepdad that came in and was trying to implement some things, and we
Right.
were looking at him like, that's not how we do
Yeah.
it, you know. But he was dead right. Like
Yeah.
nothing he was doing was inappropriate, but it was just so foreign to us because, you know, of the lifestyle that we were living. So I think it's really about communicating with your children. Like, look, this is, you know, I know this is how we did things before, but, you know, we are making some adjustments because it's everything we were doing is not necessarily the best way or the only way to do something. So I think being very candid with your children and letting them know, like, you know, we are the adults here, but we're going to make sure that we respect you because this is a transition. It's challenging for everyone, you know, but this is how it's going to be, you know, and we're going to give each other grace and give each other space to get used to this transition. But this is the goal. This is where we're moving. And this is why. I think sometimes we just don't communicate with children. We just expect them to just go with the flow. But I think if you tell them the why behind what you're doing, they'll be more receptive. They might still give you a little resistance in the beginning because change. But at the end of the day, they'll understand, you know, this is they want what's best for me. Yeah. So that's
I kind
my
of
experience.
piggyback off of the doc and agree with what she says, but also I think you should have separate conversations. So before the combining, sit down with your group and say, hey, this is what is about to transpire. Please be open. Please be receptive. If there's things that the other half that's coming in, they do things different. If you don't understand it, ask questions. If it makes you feel a certain way, come to me. Regardless, come to me. Then there should be a separate conversation with you and the other half that's coming in to say, we're really methodical, we're really systematic, and this is the way that we kind of do things. So how do you give an example? Okay, I don't know, maybe washing clothes. This is how we do because of duh. So how do you do? Have that conversation. Once all the separate little conversations have been had, and even have a separate conversation with you, and if there's a child coming in, have that separate conversation. Once all those separate conversations been had, have the big conversation. But as the doc said, you know, you have to communicate, be open, you know, don't criticize or think it's so far off left if the part coming in does something a little different. Be receptive to it because you may learn from it, you may like it, and you may totally implement it and get rid of what you were using before. So,
and I think too, to add to that, I think coming up with non-negotiables as a family, coming up with rules, coming up with as a family, and like, this is absolutely what we're not going to do, or this is what we're going to do, and especially with encountering conflict. Okay, if we have an issue, this is how we're going to handle it as a family. And that way, that expectation is put out there beforehand. And if there's an unacceptable response, okay, you already know this is going to be your consequence because we talked about the non-negotiables. So I think that'll help to eliminate a lot of the, fallouts.
Yeah, I think we, for me, it was a bit of a scattered situation at first, but like you said, coming together, kind of talking, helped us get it back like in a more organized, systematic type of structure. So even if we did disagree, like you said, this is a non-negotiable. So you already know if it's not like this, you have a consequence. So yeah, I think, thank you. Yeah. But I just know like it's hard for people to kind of talk about when I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. Or maybe you're not doing so well in your marriage, and you don't know, where do I start? What do somebody just talked to me, about what to do next, or, other than your significant other, because, sometimes you're not seeing eye to eye, but you just need some guidance because you might be the one doing, like, I might be being selfish or something. And, no, but I want it like this without even asking your partner, like, well, wait, what did you want it like, So, yeah.
That's what I think is so important to be able to talk to other couples because And I mean, like, again, everybody's going to have their different perspectives, and what works for one family doesn't necessarily work for the other. But I think it at least opens your mind to what different ways things can, you can do things, because it's not just second nature. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like, you're your own self, your own person, and you have your ways of doing things. And then this other person comes along, and it's like you get past all the lovey-dovey, and let's get to real life, and they don't want to do things the same way you want to do things, or their needs are very different. I mean, I'll give an example. Like, I think I spent so much of my, younger years being mommy and trying to finish school and doing all those things. And I'm in a place now where I want to travel more. I want to do things. I want to live my life, because I felt like I put so much on hold for my kids and for my husband, and my husband's content with just chilling at home. Like, I love that. That's something that we enjoy doing together, but I don't want to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So just finding that middle ground, can be very challenging. So it helps to kind of talk to other people too, like, well, how do you kind of balance that out? What does that look like for you and your husband or whatever? And that kind of, it's helpful. So.
And I did want to ask also, like, keeping the household organized. Like, what are some tips you might have on that aspect?
As far as space or family?
Space. The space, yeah.
You really want me to answer?
Yes, I especially want you to answer.
My tip is, and this is just how I operate. If my space is cluttered, I cannot think. It gives me anxiety. A clear space is a clear mind. Also, I feel like, when a person's space is unorganized, there's a underlying issue because of that. It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they don't know how to clean. It's not because they don't want to move it. A lot of it sometimes is a security for some people. Like, I want this pile of stuff over here because it helps me with this. So just for me, that's just my thing. My space has to be clear, or I just can't function. So clear space, clear mind.
And what were you, because you asked the question, what were you saying?
How to kind of get organized.
I think for me, I said this before, I have limits. Like, I try not to be too OCD, but my kids know when it gets to a certain point, okay, it's a problem, because I too don't like clutter. But I think even if you don't, because I don't think anybody likes clutter, even people who have clutter or who are unorganized, I think the issue is just, again, balance. Like, how do I stay on top of all these things and not get overwhelmed? And for me, it's different in different seasons, because, different things might be going on. But I find if you have a routine, it helps a lot, And unfortunately, I find myself like doing a lot for my girls that I probably, should not have done. So now it's kind of like, get up, go wash, go do this or go do that. I mean, they wash their own clothes, they do certain things, but there are other things that they don't think twice about because mom always did it, and husbands or wives, vice versa, however your household is run, can be the same way. Like, the person is so used to you doing it that they don't even realize this is a need, and then you get burnt out because it's like, what if I'm not here, or, I'm just tired or whatever. So I think really just trying to find a consistent schedule and routine that works for you, that doesn't overwhelm you, that is really going to help you keep your space in a manageable place for you, So
And also use the ideology of work smarter, not harder. Find tools that's going to help the job and help you be more productive. If you need to get a robot vacuum because you don't want,
I want one.
Yeah, like you can. There's places where you can put them and make monthly payments because they are kind of pricey. But it's one less thing, one less tick off the list of things to do. Some people still are old school, where they don't use their dishwasher. If putting the dishes in the dishwasher takes one check off that list, use that dishwasher. now a lot of the washers have timers.
Mm-hmm.
Put the clothes in there, set a timer, and forget about it. Like, find tools that will help the job more efficient and easier for you.
But I think back up, because you said something that was very, very powerful about just there being an underlying something. Like if you have, and not gonna put all of my family business out there, but we grew up in very, special circumstances as far as our home environment. And there were underlying issues. It wasn't that, we were in a home where we were just, nobody cared or anything like that. There were serious things happening. And because of that, the house suffered for it. I'm going to just say it like that. So I think that's what you have to recognize too. Is there, something I need to address, because if you're hurting or whatever it might be, that's one other thing on your list that you just do not have the capacity to deal with, because there's something more serious than just this bed being made today.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's really, people don't understand that. But when you're dealing with so much, and I was going to kind of talk about that, we're going to just blend it all together.
Okay.
But when you have mental overload, oh my gosh, like people really don't get it. That's clutter in your brain.
Yep.
You don't have the capacity to take on one more thing. And I thought I had to figure that out, because like there will be, like when I get into that space and you ask me something simple as, well, where do you think we should put this? I mean, you asked me that and I'm ready to fight you because figure it out, like who can, like it's like, please don't ask me one more thing. I already have these 100 things that I'm dealing with, or this one big issue that I don't know what to do with. That one thing is going to make me crack. So I think you really have to recognize where you are, in your space. Because there are seasons where, okay, I don't care about them dishes being in the sink. And there are other seasons where I'm like, go wash them dishes right now, So it's just, you really got to know what's going on internally and then address that first, because it's just the inside coming out. That's how I look at it,
Tomorrow is one day closer to you becoming the person you want to be. Just make one choice at a time. Thank y'all for letting me spill my business all over in y'all sections here.
In your business.
Of course. Blessings, blessings. It's Dr. Nikkisha Bell-Griffin. How's your heart, everyone? So I want to continue our conversation about organization, decluttering, but I don't want to really focus on the physical. I want to focus on, of course, because I'm the heart doctor, the heart, the mind, the emotional space of that. And Toya asked some really good questions that kind of will just spill right over into what I wanted to address. We know, just like you need your physical space to be clear and organized, to be calm, we also need a clear mind. And I just so appreciate you being, so authentic in your segment about, things that you're struggling with in regards to just trying to get organized in your life. And it's very challenging. I mean, it really can be, we have a lot on our plate. And I want to know, for you two ladies, well, Toya can already share, so I guess I'm going to be over here with you for a moment.
Great.
What do you think causes mental overload? Because I kind of mentioned that in Toya's segment. What do you think? Because that is one of the signs of a cluttered mind. What do you think, causes people to get in that space of mental overload?
I think overexerting yourself, like oversharing, overgiving, whatever aspect of it, if it's being a spouse, being a child, being a parent, being all the things, being a boss to someone or supervisor to someone, you overextend yourself to someone else to help them, to give them, to pour into them. But what about you? A lot of people don't have that person that can pour into them and give to them and cater to them. So sometimes you got to do that for yourself. And I think that's what causes overextending yourself.
That's good. That's really good. What do you think?
I think, that too. But also, if you, like, maybe you thought one way, like for example, you graduate college, I'm going to get this dream job right away, and then I'm going to do this, and my life is going to be like that. And then when it doesn't turn out like that, I think that can do something to you mentally. Like, but I did all this that I was supposed to do. Why is this not, doing what I want it to do?
Right.
So I think sometimes when you have an expectation and it's not exactly what you wanted, that can cause some mental overload too.
That's good. I love that. Yes. And I think another struggle, that causes your mind to be cluttered is like senses overload, especially in today's society where we have the noise of social media, the news. I mean, you have all these things, and even some of the positive things. Like I found myself, and my husband, at the time, I was like looking at him like, what do you mean? But he was like, you're always listening to someone. But I actually got to the point where I was like, my senses were overloaded. Like, I'm tired of listening. I was not making enough space to just be quiet and hear myself. So it was like my mind was just filled with all these different thoughts and messages, even if it was positive, because I try to be very mindful of what I listen to and who I listen to, it was still too much. It was like, okay, you need to sometimes shut up, shut everybody else up, and just be still. So, have y'all found, like, how do y'all kind of balance out just the noise of today? Like, just whether social media or whatever it may be, how do you kind of like filter that out?
Well, 3 ways. One for me, being that, if you have an iPhone, your phone sends you a weekly report of your activity. I set mine to come, I think, on Mondays. And I look to see, and it's like, okay, girl, you strolled on Instagram for how long? So I try to make it a habit that, and even when I first started doing it, I set an alarm so that the alarm goes off to tell me to put my phone down. Just take it upstairs, and you go downstairs, and you just detox for a couple of hours. Then eventually work yourself up to a day, and then eventually work yourself up more. The second way is when I used to travel or go out for work, and I still do it even if I'm not, I ride in my car in silence. Nothing else. That helps me clear my mind, think of things that I'm pondering about or solutions, or just even having a conversation with God. Just ride in silence. My last thing, I don't look at the news. I don't look at none of it. The only time I look at the news is for weather. I don't look at any of it because certain things you can filter. And I was just doing that. I was sitting here waiting for everyone to get here. And I was on Instagram, and there were things in the search page that came up that I was not interested in. I don't want to see that. They have a feature that you can push to say not interested, and it will not come up on your feed. So I was going through just hitting the button on all these things. Like, why is this even coming up in my algorithm when I don't even follow people with that content on their page? And so you filter it out, absent from the mind, absent from the heart. Like, I just don't watch news because there's nothing, even if they talk about something good on the news, it's always at the end. And it's like 2 minutes. But you want to spend majority of the whole show, except for traffic and weather, talking about how many homicides have happened or politics or what have you, what unhealthy stuff, and it's just like, I just don't watch it. So.
That's good. Thanks for those 3 tips. That's really good.
I think I struggle with cell phones in general. Like, you can access me all day long. Like, you can call me anytime. It is so weird to me that you're like that accessible to people. So I think I have certain times of the day that I check things. Because if not, I would be looking all day long at that thing. So,
that's good.
And that's so funny that we have to do that because we grew up in a time and age where there were no cell phones. There were no cell phones. And if you think back to it, if you wanted to call someone, especially if they didn't have all the fancy features of a house phone, they didn't have call waiting, you still couldn't talk to them. And then there were limits, like if their parents was really strict, you could only talk to them for so long. Or if you were out in public reaching someone, it was called a payphone. And if you didn't have the coin to put in the payphone, you weren't reaching out to that person out in public. So I think that's kind of weird that those in our generation X, don't find it unusual that we're so connected to these devices when we didn't grow up. We didn't have, they didn't exist.
Yeah.
So I
that's a
just
good
find
point.
that a interesting dichotomy.
Yeah. It can be addictive, dangerous. Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for that. So I think another, and this one is a more subliminal one, is a sign that your mind is cluttered, is being desensitized. And because you're desensitized, you may not even realize you're desensitized. And you can be desensitized or not aware of your emotional needs or the emotional needs of others. Or it could just be a certain, I don't know, aspect of life that you have desensitized yourself to. And it could be several, so I'm not going to really list, but to me, that's very dangerous because you're at the point where you're not recognizing something's wrong. Like that's how I look at being desensitized. Like you don't realize something is wrong because you numbed yourself to it. You turned yourself off, or you turned it off, or the person off, whatever it may have been, or whatever it may be. So I think identifying that and recognizing that, and a lot of times it will take somebody from the outside. It's so important because who knows how far that can go. You know what I mean? Like we can't numb ourselves. We can't be oblivious to the things that are impacting our soul and our relationships. Like they're gonna fall apart. And then you're gonna be looking like, well, what happened? Yeah, the signs were there, but you just weren't paying attention, or you weren't, acknowledging them because you thought they were gonna just go away. So that's my third point for signs of a cluttered mind. So being mental overload, overload of the senses, and then being desensitized. So now we get to the good part, how to declutter your mind. Okay. And I think you kind of said it too, like turning stuff off. And I love how you said when you get in the car, you're quiet. Because I think one reason our mind gets cluttered is because we have all these thoughts and feelings and things that we're not giving ourselves time enough to process. So where are they going to go? They're just piling up inside your compartments of your brain. And then they come out as agitation, as anxiety, as anger, as whatever, because you're not giving yourself enough time to let it out. So I think I really love how you said that you just make space for that. And I think we kind of talked about it in our letting go of yourself segment, but letting go of pessimism, whether it's yourself or it's other people, that's another thing that can fill up space in your brain and your heart is just disgusting. And it doesn't benefit you. It does nothing. It doesn't change your circumstances. It doesn't help you get through your circumstances because you're looking at everything from a negative lens. So I think that's one way to declutter your mind. And then examining your beliefs. And I like how Toya was examining her behaviors. Like she's stepping back and saying, well, how can I organize and better manage my marriage and my relationship and my family? That's decluttering your mind because you're taking the time to say, wait a minute, I'm recognizing that some things may not be working as smoothly as I want, or I just want some things to be better. So I need to address these things because otherwise it's just going to pile up and become more of a problem, So I think definitely examining your behaviors and your beliefs and practices and things that you do that have become second nature. Is it working still? Is the way I'm processing things even healthy? Because your mind can get very cluttered if every time you come up with a challenge or whatever it may be, you're immediately feeding yourself negativity, or you're immediately being hard on yourself. You said something. What did you say? You said mental overload you think comes from people. Finish that sentence. It was very important. It was very good. She said mental overload comes from people pretty much just kind of like putting too much on themselves and doing too much for others. Overextending. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. Overexerting. And I think that is how we can declutter, stop overexerting and putting so much pressure on ourselves when it comes to what we are thinking we're supposed to do, or who we're supposed to be, and et cetera, So there are definitely wonderful benefits to decluttering your mind. You make more space for joy. You're more focused. You're more creative. You're more productive. And it's funny because decluttering your mind can be, you can do that by introducing more creativity into your space and being more productive in a way where it's something not work related, but something that's actually bringing you joy and re-energizing and refreshing you. So like you said, taking walks, or maybe looking at the buildings, the old buildings with the trees, the bushes and stuff sticking out. Like that's refreshing your soul. Is
this
bringing,
show.
in this show. So exactly. So we just have to find that balance, because it's just too much. I mean, we're seeing too many people dealing with mental breakdowns and mental illness because they're trying to carry so much and they don't know how to let things go and let things out. So, we gotta continue to heal together and continue to find your tribe and just, do whatever you need to do to be peaceful and calm. You deserve that, and get all that junk out. Just get it out. Whatever is not benefiting you and benefiting your life and your relationships, let it go. Get it out. Get rid of it. So yeah, that's my tidbit for today, ladies. I appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all. And y'all remember to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Peace.
Hey, Bear. Come on over to the Nerd's Corner. Get nice and comfortable and cozy. Get your little fuzzy slippers if you'd like. But so our topic today was decluttering and cleaning things, and I want to clean your laugh house. How about that?
Okay.
Don't start over there to the right. Don't. Just let it roll off your back like a duck and feathers in water. Just let it roll. Okay. So I want to ask some questions, and I'm going to start adding to my question, my segment, because I'm such a curious mind. My segment that I'm going to add is, I have a question.
No.
I
have a question.
We know what that means.
So, welcome to my segment. I have a question.
I love that.
So the first couple of questions are fun facts. So I'm intertwining both. I do my fun facts.
Okay.
So these are going to be fun facts about yourself.
Okay.
All right, stop cheating.
I'm not.
You can't pre-think of your answer. I want this to
I
be
need time to process.
No. I want it off the top of the dome.
Okay.
Yeah, off the top.
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay. So, Doc, what's a weird fact you happen to know?
A weird fact I happen to know? Oh my God. See how you do? I cannot think of this stuff right off the top of my head.
Would you like me to answer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I need some inspiration.
So, I have two. One, you can tell if it's going to rain by a pine cone.
Okay.
So a pine cone, when the humidity is really, really high, they close up. So that lets you know that the humidity is high, it's going to rain. But if they're open, you can have a nice and sunny day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
My second weird fact is that, do you know that flamingos are not really pink? They're not born that way.
Oh.
They're only pink because, oh my God, if you can see her face, that reaction that you just gave me. Let me explain. Here we go. They're pink because of their diet, because they eat shrimp and algae.
Oh.
And the two colors of what they eat turn their feathers pink.
Oh, wow.
So they're not really pink.
When they pretty and pink on because of what they eat.
I know, right? So if they have a different diet, then they won't be pink at all?
But that's all they eat.
Oh, okay. So they're going to naturally just turn
pink.
pink. Okay. I mean, I don't have the good stuff like this. I don't know. You're going to come back to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Something that I know.
A weird fact.
Weird fact that I know.
Your husband's trying to help you. He's cheating.
The world isn't ready for that one, honey.
Oh, okay. All right then.
A weird fact that I know. Because I know some stuff. I do know some stuff, some weird stuff.
It's just hard to just come right
Yes, you
up
did.
with this stuff.
All right, well, I'll keep moving.
Yeah,
I'll keep
we have
going.
to come back to
okay.
that one. That was hard.
Next question, Dom.
Oh, Lord.
What is your favorite smell and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so my favorite smell is, I think, vanilla, and cashmere together. I mean, I can't really tell you why.
Okay.
I just love I love the combination. Honestly, I actually like anything that has like also like the tropical, like coconut and pineapple type
Okay.
smells meshed
Okay.
together. I don't know what it is.
Well, I
It's
don't know if I
just,
shared. I make my own room spray,
Oh.
and one of the scents I have is cashmere vanilla. So I'll have to give you a
okay, yes,
sample.
please.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And
So
show me
yeah.
how to make it.
Favorite scent?
Your favorite
Um,
smell and why?
What is my favorite smell? Because I'm a person that doesn't like smells. So
Okay, well that could be your answer.
I think when you open the doors and it smells like the fresh air.
Oh, fresh air.
That yeah,
Okay.
like just the
She likes
I don't know how to
nature.
explain it.
Okay.
Yeah, not the rainy smell, not the but just the
Mm.
when it's a regular like fall day and
Mhm.
the breeze.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
beautiful.
for me, my smell is isopropyl alcohol. It smells amazing.
Oh
Like
my
it just reminds
gosh.
me of clean and fresh and disinfectant.
does.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Mm.
So
Next question. What interesting skill would you like to learn, Toya?
okay. What would I like to learn?
Okay, she knows
Blink,
I'm
blink,
asking
blink.
these complex questions, and she still stopped. Like,
There has to be something, right?
You said complex?
okay, I'll come back to you.
You said
No,
complex?
she didn't.
Interesting.
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 Why in my mind did
skill.
I say complex?
Because
Okay. Interesting. Interesting for me. A skill?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I got one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I want to learn how to play another instrument.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm not a certain one. Like I could just take a book and just flip pages and pick one.
Okay.
I like playing
Now
instruments.
that's
so
interesting because most of the time people say, I want to learn to play this.
No, it could
So
be
that's
anything.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me,
It's gotta be something.
A
Do you want to
skill?
learn how to surf? I mean, it's gotta be some
I mean,
interesting skill.
what is it? I want to maybe not surfing, but what is it, jet ski?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll learn how I'll try that.
Okay.
You know.
Well, for me, it would be drawing. I would love to learn how to draw.
Oh, you didn't come to my house.
Mhm.
Oh, you'll teach me how to draw?
My-
No, go back. I have one.
Okay.
I mean, like I know how to braid, but I want to learn how to like add hair and stuff so I can like
Oh.
braid so I can stop paying all this money for me and my girls and do it myself. So yeah, that would be, because I know I dibbled a little bit when I was younger, but I want to really know how to.
So you don't have to
Do
have
it.
the hair doctor
Exactly.
when your braids fall out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Doc, what's the most random thing in your purse right now?
In my purse.
Yeah.
So I don't really do purses anymore. Like I think
Oh.
they're so cute, but I just
Okay,
I
well,
got
car.
tired of carrying
What's
them
the
around.
most random thing in your car?
Random thing in my car.
I wish I couldn't carry a purse. But go ahead.
Yeah, I do little wallets and stuff, but
Okay.
I cannot. Random, a light bulb.
I'm scared to ask why.
Jill Watson.
So my ceiling fan has like a special type of light bulb, and so I don't forget when I need to replace them. I keep one in my glove
That's
compartment.
clever.
Yeah,
That
so
is clever.
yeah,
I'll
so,
take that back.
yeah,
That's clever.
see, yeah,
I
so.
like your why. What about you?
I have a purse inside of a purse.
Oh. Why, pray tell?
Because I carry so much stuff. Like if I want to just run in and out of somewhere, then I'll just take the little purse and take that with me and leave the big purse.
So maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that, and then I'll carry a purse again.
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Well, at least you're
I know, right?
Well, for me, I have nothing, no remarks from the beginning out. I have little paper soaps in my purse.
Paper soaps.
Yeah, so the little they look like little sheets of paper. They're about this long, really thin. So when you go to a public lavatory and they don't have soap, I just pop this out, put the little sheet on there, add some water, and it turns into soap.
Did you know there was a such thing as paper
You
soap?
also have paper soap in your purse because she gave you something to put in your purse. You just don't know they're in there.
Really?
Yes. I do too.
I didn't know there was a such thing as
I
paper
want my
soap.
gift back.
Yeah.
When did
I
you?
gave
Wait a
you some.
minute.
She did.
When?
You probably didn't know what it was.
I probably did not.
She
See
did
how much you
explain
value
it.
my gifts.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know that's my love language.
Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, I use my things, my shower things.
Okay.
I love them
That
with
makes
all my
it feel
heart.
better. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Next question. Toya, what do you never leave the house without? And it can't be your phone, keys, or wallet.
Never leave the house with a cup of water.
That's
Yeah.
good. Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
The libations.
The libations.
Yeah.
What say you, Doc?
Me? I mean, you name my key essentials. I don't care about anything else. I would have to say maybe my earrings.
Okay.
Like if I realize my earrings are not on, then
You
I
got to
feel
make a
so
U-turn.
naked. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it would be something to grease my lips. I don't
Mhm.
care
Oh, yeah, I
if
keep
it's
that in my
lip
car.
gloss.
Yes.
I don't do Vaseline, but something on the lips. They got to
Mhm.
be moisturized and
Yeah.
moist. Next question. What's a nickname, Doc, that people actually call you that nobody, the normal acquaintances wouldn't know?
Well, I mean, y'all know my nickname, so Keisha and Nikki. But I don't even know if I should be telling all my business like this.
Do
My
it.
husband calls me Kiwi.
Oh, that's
So,
so
yeah.
sweet,
Yes.
Kiwi.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
so
a shirt.
sweet.
Oh
I'm
Lord.
gonna get a shirt.
Oh Lord.
Mrs. Kiwi.
Do
And
not.
gift it to you.
Oh.
What say you, Toya?
I don't want to say it. My whole eyeball got stuck right there when you asked me.
Oh.
Anybody.
Oh.
My mother calls me Toya.
I was just
she
sitting here
does.
thinking that.
She does. She does.
And it has trickled to people like
it
in my
has?
workplace,
Oh, yeah.
and they just tease me.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Hi, Toy.
Probably like 3 E's on the end, I think, right?
Yeah, because she exaggerates.
Yeah.
Toy.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, it's the obvious Tam. When I was younger, it was Tam Tam. But my husband has a nickname for me.
Okay.
He calls me Kizzy.
Okay.
And
Disrespect.
another person, I don't know if I work with this person, but they started calling me Kizzy out of the blue. So I'm like, what is
Right.
it? Maybe my mom should have named me Kizzy.
Right, but why?
I don't know. I guess, the character from Roots. the
Yes.
show. So I don't know.
Okay then.
Yeah, he calls
Because she
me
was
Kizzy.
Kuta's daughter, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
was powerful.
So
Okay.
that's my
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, next question. So we're going to get into your past. Okay. So, Doc, what was your favorite item of clothing as a kid?
Oh, now which stage? Depends. It's funny because I would like my uncle from Boston was in town. They were going through photo albums at my other uncle's house, and then one of my brothers was screenshotting and sharing all the pictures and the family text. Thanks a lot. But it was like one of the pictures because for some reason my mom, I think fire or something, I don't know, moved in. She lost a lot of our kid pictures, but my uncle still has most of them. And it was a picture of me in my favorite little red bell-bottom pants. Now, I liked bell-bottoms, but they had to be colorful. Brown was out of the question. You remember she used to make us wear
Yes.
brown? It's like, I'm not wearing those. But yeah, so the red bell-bottoms and like I had my little red ribbon. So that's like my favorite little thing as a little girl. We were all really into the hair accessories. So the bow red, different color, yeah. All the girly things.
What say you, Toy?
She said toy.
No matter the season, I always wear a coat.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh, she used to
Oh
drive
Lord.
us
Her
crazy.
husband. I wish we had pictures for her husband.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It would be 90 degrees. y'all.
90,000 degrees.
And she would have on a winter coat.
And if she didn't get her coat, she would cry.
Yes.
Like literally throw a fit.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
God bless her.
Yes, Lord knows. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
For me, it was, and my aunt in Connecticut I hope she will remember this, but it was this red shirt that had different color sunglasses on them. And it was just so cute. And and I wore that shirt out.
Oh,
So that was my favorite piece of clothing was that.
Oh, I
shirt.
remember you bringing back memories. Wait, y'all remember the little karate chucks or whatever? They look like little karate shoes. In my kindergarten year, I had a pair of those and I loved them. And then the strap broke and I was so sad.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like so disappointed. But she probably got them from a $5 store or something. That's why they fell apart.
$5 was a lot of money.
It
back
was.
then.
It was. It didn't matter though. I loved them. They were cute.
So next question. I think it's your turn, Doc. What was your first job and what did you like or dislike about it?
Oh gosh. Okay, very first job.
Very first.
First job was actually through a summer program. So, and we were, and we were cleaning. I think our job was to help clean classrooms, desks, and all that fun stuff. I love the money. Did not particularly like the environment per se. I mean, it was just kind of like they threw you together with whoever, and the people weren't necessarily always professional. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But it was a good experience.
Yeah. I think mine was through that same summer program, but for some reason I wanted to be in the corporate world from a very young age.
Bougie from young.
So my first one was in the records department at the courthouse.
Okay.
Before the new courthouse was built.
Oh.
And then while I was there, we transitioned to the new one. So I got to work in the office like right when it was first built. It was like on the underground floor back then.
Okay.
But it was
think
the
that's
IT
funny,
department.
I was working in a school and that, and it's just ironic how life works. But anyway.
Yeah. And I too worked this summer program and I too was in the school. What I disliked about it was we had to scrape gum off of the desk and in the lockers. I did not like that. What I liked about it was after we kind of did all our work, we would kind of group together in like the locker. We would go hide from our supervisor in the locker room and joke and laugh all day.
That's why I said unprofessional.
Yeah, like it was. It was the best time.
Yeah.
It was the best time.
Fun's fun, but it could get a little
So my last question about your past: what part of elementary school do you wish you could incorporate into your adult life? Toya.
Yeah, thank you.
What part of elementary? I mean, I think just the clubs and stuff, like, because that was the fun stuff for me, where you got to just rest your mind and have fun, because you got to pick what you wanted to do. So, yeah.
So what say you, Doc?
That's a challenging one for me. That I can incorporate in my life now?
Yeah, into your adult life.
I would have to say recess. More playtime. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Well, for me, it was nap time.
Oh, okay.
Nap time and story time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love sitting on that carpet, listening to that teacher read. Like, I just loved it. I would just sit there and just
with them giant books.
amazed.
Oh, yeah,
like,
the big books. Yes.
Oh my God, all the other kids rolling around on the floor, and I'm looking at them like they mind bad. I'm just like, aren't you picking up what she put down? Like, she got gems.
Yes.
So that would be for me.
No, but do y'all remember the letter people?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love the letter people.
Mr. Munchie. Mr. Munch.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Munchie
And tall
Munch.
teeth for tall teeth.
Yes, I love
that
the
was
letter
days.
people. A was for Apple, Miss Apple.
Yes,
Was it
Miss
Apple?
Achu.
Oh,
A for
Achu.
Achu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the letter
Me
people.
too.
Look at you, reminiscing. Okay, my last set of questions are hypothetical questions.
Okay.
So, Toya, if you could have any celebrity be your best friend, which celebrity would you pick?
Oh Lord.
She might be listening.
Oh God.
It's going to be Mariah Carey.
Oh, okay, Mimi.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, girl.
Oh my God.
In my head, we really are friends.
Oh my gracious.
What's up?
Celebrity? I don't really. Okay, let me be nice. Who inspires?
No.
Oh.
Not inspires. That you could be friends with.
Oh, I mean, I don't know them like that, but honestly,
Well, I mean,
I like
you gotta
Sanaa
get
Lathan.
Okay.
Okay.
I like her. She's a cool actress. So yeah.
Well, for me, it would be Viola Davis. I just recently read her autobiography. Amazing.
Ooh,
She
I've
has
heard it's
a
really good.
very, very good testimony story. And she always gives nuggets of wisdom. So I would love to be kind of best friends with her. So that would be good.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Doc, if all your clothes had to be one color forever, what color would you pick?
Oh Lord. All of my clothes. I mean, my favorite color is red. I don't know if I want to wear red, but I think I would be okay wearing red every day.
Okay. I mean, think about Steve Jobs. He wore black every single day.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because he said, I don't have time to be picking outfits. Just give me
Right.
black.
Okay.
Probably burnt orange. That's like one of my happy colors.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, it'd be green.
Okay. Of course.
No, I wouldn't be caught being mean in green.
Oh my God.
Next question. That was from The Wiz, if no one knows.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
next question. Toya, if you could eliminate
Sorry, y'all.
one
That's not-
food so that no one would eat it ever again, what would you pick to destroy?
Oh God.
If I could
Eliminate one food. One food that nobody could ever eat again. One food.
What's the smelly food? I don't know. I like food.
Okay, well, I'll answer pickles.
How dare her?
Hate pickles. And my husband eats them. Like, we have like 10 jars in the pantry because he loves pickles.
Wow.
He would sit there and he wants some, come put it in. I'm just like, I hate pickles. And he just be crunching. Like, this is the best crunch. I'm like, oh my God, I just hate pickles. I hate pickles.
I'll trade you my pickle for you. Go. For me, I'm pig feet. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your house doesn't even smell right when you cook it. Yeah.
You still can't think of anything? No.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
I mean, there's
okay.
foods I don't like, but
That's okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay, Doc.
I know, right?
Since the Olympics is going on now,
Okay.
if you were an Olympic athlete, what sport would you compete in?
I mean, I don't like sports, but I mean, if you're gonna force me, maybe gymnastics in my fantasy world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What say you?
It definitely would have been gymnastics.
Yeah, for her, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, it would have been synchronized swimming.
Oh,
love
Lord.
it.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not
that's fun
very-
too.
We would not win. That's how I remember the synchronous versus asynchronous days for the kids.
Really?
Because-
Wow.
That's interesting.
Whatever
I
you gotta
connected
do
it to that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is neat.
I
That
wanna
is
nominate
neat.
that. Yeah.
My last question. I will answer first, and then I'll let you guys answer. If I could only eat at one restaurant forever, what restaurant would it be? Wow. Being that I'm Fatty McGee, that's a very hard question.
That is.
But if I had to narrow it down, I would say, I'm not going to say one particular. I would say any restaurant that serves breakfast food.
Oh yeah.
I
She
could
took my
eat
answer.
breakfast foods forever.
Yes.
I could eat that just period.
Yes,
Like,
you took my
yeah.
answer.
I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say that too.
I'm sorry.
No, seafood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular one that you can name off?
I mean, my favorite one is Wickers.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I had, ladies, for my new segment. I have a question.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Well, thank you for participating and
Of course.
answering and being candid.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. I
Anytime.
don't want
We're
it
gonna
to
try.
be over. Oh,
I
well,
know.
time constraints. Hey, I've seen the cameraman back there doing one of these, so we got to move it along. But that's it for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Heal With Us.
And remember, healing is a process. So take it one day at a time.
We are available across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, all the places, all of them. I can't list them all, but you know what they are because I'm pretty sure you scroll on them every day, all day. So we're there under the same tag name, Heal With Us 3. You can also email us at healwithus3@gmail.com. Any questions, any comments, show ideas, anything that you would like for us to cover. Even if somebody want to sponsor us or any brand deals, we're open, right, ladies? We're open. So yeah, just reach out to us. Say hello.
Heal with us.
Heal with us.
In your business.